So I'm here in the wonderfully eclectic and diverse Surrey Street Market, right outside our brand new Crisis Skylight. Both of these are fantastic examples of co-production and how communities working together can achieve amazing results. Do you know, on my journey of change from homelessness into where I am now, I got involved with Croydon Council, you guys. I remember the first time that happened. I'd heard about this fantastic meeting that Croydon Council were holding. They were going to invite all the services in Croydon to sit in a room, over 100 people, to talk about what to do with homeless people, to talk about what to do with me. But I wasn't part of that conversation, and I wanted to be. So I rang up Croydon Council. It took me a few phone calls to get through to finally speak to the person who could make that decision. I spoke to a wonderful guy called John Montez, and John invited me along to that meeting. That was the start of a relationship with John and the team. A bit later on, I sat down with John and Greg Davis, and we wrote a bid to bring £100,000 into Croydon to deliver a peer mentoring service. A peer mentoring service which I had the good fortune to be able to help design and also train peer mentors. Times change and people move on, and Dave Morris took over the helm of the homelessness services in Croydon, and I started to work with him and his team, in particular with Julia Pipp. We worked on a number of things. We developed together the volunteer training that we deliver now in Croydon for all the volunteers who work with the homeless. We developed an outreach project to work with those who are most hard to reach, the most vulnerable. And we worked with almost 200 people, achieving some fantastic results. And we worked together to help bring Crisis into the borough. Crisis now delivers some fantastic services and have had a massive impact on those who are homeless in our borough. When we talk about co-production, we have to talk about relationships and building those relationships from the start. It's no good inviting people into co-production halfway through a process. People need to be involved from the beginning. They want to be part of that journey from the beginning, very much like I wanted to. But the two big barriers for me are trust in ourselves, trust in the people around us, trust in our communities and others, and also fear of change, fear of failure, fear of losing our job, fear of other people. But you know what? Relationships break down those barriers and they achieve you better results. You see, people learn from co-production, and rather than becoming the enemy, they become advocates. They understand the challenges that we face and then share the responsibility. And people love to be part of the journey from the beginning. So where do we start? Exactly there, from the beginning, and not as an afterthought. Afterthoughts are tick box exercises. When you bring people in halfway through a process, they're not part of it. So how do we start? Well, we start by being brave. We start by stretching ourselves and allowing ourselves to be uncomfortable. Because believe me, change can be uncomfortable. But you know, if you trust in yourself, trust in those around you, trust in the communities that you work in and work with, you'll be successful. Do you know, I'm fortunate enough to go around the country talking about co-production. I work with some amazing national organisations, and when I do, I talk about Croydon Council. I talk about the work that I've done with Croydon Council and the co-production that we've done and the amazing results that we've achieved. I think we're fantastic, but we could be better. So I have an invitation for you. I invite you to look at where you are now when it comes to co-production. Look at what you're doing. Explore how you can achieve better co-production and improve your co-production at every single level within every single department. So the call to action is go and do that. do exactly that. And the great news is I've got an invite from your chief exec to come back in the future to see how amazingly well you're doing and to offer up any support that I can. So until then, stay safe.